Prior to this meeting, we had executive sessions to discuss personnel matters and those covered by attorney-client privilege. We met on July 30th. We met on August 5th. We met again on August 6th. And that was involved in some of the personnel issues that were vacancy just announced earlier. With our meeting materials, we did not have the minutes of July 2nd since that meeting was canceled. Are there any visitors? I think not. I don't believe there was any visitors signed up that wanted to, that are here that wanted to speak on the item that's not on the agenda. So our first item of business is the approval of bills in the amount of $523.87, $523,087.21. Are there any questions concerning the bill? Yes, it's the
comment and question just that the largest payment is for the semi-annual bond, because the one that goes for about $500,000. And then I noticed in the bills there were for prisoner transports of like different amounts between $119 or $120 to $509. I just wondered why the variation.
Yeah, thank you. I can answer that question. So the cost of a prisoner transport depends on the distance and also the number of prisoners. So for very long distance transports, for example, from 4 to 5 hours, we'll pay 2 constables because they need to take breaks. Sometimes the prisoners need to take breaks, and it's better for security that way. So those more expensive bills would be a longer distance transporting than we had in like Scranton area and 1 hour. So
So I guess that was the part I didn't understand. I just assumed it probably won't go in car a lot. So it's the 2 heavy people like we pick up in this jurisdiction, he didn't be returned.
yeah, good question. So it's actually the reverse of that. It's prisoners that we have warrants for that have been arrested in other jurisdictions. They may have committed crimes in those jurisdictions, so they may get incarcerated. For example, somebody might be in Pittsburgh's prison, but have court here, so we have to go pick them up and bring them back here. So sometimes they're coming here and they're staying here. Sometimes we have to return them back to the
Yep.
Any other questions? The motion. Second to approve the dispersal bills. All in favor, aye? Aye. Vote no. Motion carried. Thank you. Moving into public safety. As you spoke last, Lieutenant Martin.
Thank you. Just 2 quick updates. Sorry, is that better?
That's better.
Just 2 quick updates. We did order the type 2 sound meter, the board authorized. I think it was last meeting, maybe. So that we're waiting for it to be delivered. The second thing is, we understand that we're still challenged by the e-bikes and e-scooters. And there's obviously confusion amongst community about the different laws and regulations that apply to both of those. So we did publish a page on the website to try to explain the laws and regulations around e-bikes and how they differ from e-scooters. I'm not sure. I'm hoping it's helpful, but admittedly, it's still evolving the situation even from regulates along.
You're right. I noticed too that Roski just completed training for.
Yes, he completed an FBI leadership course, so the premium course, and was recently recognized for completing all 3 of his modules. So thank you for bringing that up too.
Sure, and there will be a public safety meeting on August 13th at 6:30 down in the police conference room. And I just might mention that we will be looking at some possible improvements for pedestrian crossings at the Gettysburg Pike Market Street intersection. And so if anyone is curious, we have not dropped that concern, but are looking at initiatives to address that. Chief Parsons, or Chief Chopper. I just promoted you, Brian. I didn't know. Very good with that. Tom?
I don't really have a whole lot. Saturday was our chicken barbecue. We didn't quite sell out, but we were pretty close. So we're happy with that. And then last night was National Night Out. And I was unfortunately not able to attend, but from everything I'm hearing, it was a good turnout and everybody had a good time. So we're still putting out fires, so.
Yeah, it was a very nice event, and the weather cooperated so much for. Nothing else in public safety, moving to planning and zoning. Planning from zoning. Jan, the first item is the proposed public hearing.
Yes, so before you is an application for what will be the Board of Appeals regarding an appeal of the determination of our property maintenance code, and they are also asking for a variance of the high grass requirement. So this board serves as the Board of Appeals for property maintenance code issues. So you have to schedule a public hearing in which to hear this case. And then at this time, we are suggesting September 3rd, and if 6 o'clock would work for everyone prior to the hearing. That was the suggested time as well, but if you want a different time, that's fine as well. Due to the time limitations, the applicant did grant us additional time in which to hold the hearing, but we need to do so by, I believe, September 5th, so that's why we're suggesting the September 3rd hearing.
Is that a night, is that the need to take official action over?
You need to authorize staff to advertise the public hearing.
Good deal. Is there a motion to that effect?
I move to authorize staff to advertise the public hearing for the Board of Appeals to be held on September 3rd, 2025 at 6 p.m. Hearing shall be regarding the appeal of the code enforcement officer's determination for violations of the International Property Maintenance Code, adopted under Chapter 189 of the Attached Ordinances. The property located at lot OS-8 Tolman Street, tax ID number 42-42-10-0256-41.
Moving to second, any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Those no, motion carried.
Don't ask the question.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't.
It's the Board of Commissioners that serves as the appeal board.
Correct, but you have to hold a hearing. So it'll be separate from your regular meetings to discuss this case.
And I looked at tax map of this OS-8, it's the parcel designation.
It's an open space lot within Orchard Glen.
So 6.61 acres. You know, it has like street accents. Do they have an issue like cutting along the street? Or is like the whole property?
That you will have to discuss with the applicant during the hearing, yeah.
And then there's nearby parcel OS2, that's 5.08 acres. Is that, there's not an issue with that?
No, it has to do with the grade of the lot. So if you go to where this lot is up between Tolman and Zestar, you will see a very significant grade. And the problem is getting mowers into that area.
That's
And that didn't change it, though, that, I mean, I didn't get you before that, I went to the vote, but your vote's still dead, right?
oh yeah.
So, yeah, we'll hear that vote, or that motion, pass. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, close the HB hearing, we have August 14th.
Yes, so we will have one new case before the zoning hearing board on August 14th. And that's for a property on McCormick Road. They are asking for a 10-foot setback, so very minimal. They're trying to work around wetlands and floodplain areas. So that's the reason for their request for the land, which they want to build a new home on. So that will be before zoning hearing board on the 14th. If there's anything that this board would like to pass along to the zoning board, I'll be happy to make sure that takes place.
And I looked at this with Commissioner Walsh, and it appears like the lot next to this one, there are no structure plans, so it's really. It's not like to be this property. what's up against another development operator, one of the construction.
Yeah, this is part of a very old development from the sixties, and the lots were subdivided before floodplain was even an issue. So I think if it was done today, they probably would have been subdivided a lot differently, but neither here nor there.
Very, motion to establish the hearing. You remember that one? Oh, this is for the, I apologize.
This is for zoning here, but yeah, there's no action, but if the board want to take a position to
Well,
pass along.
While we're at it, but see.
You have to do that as a hearing, so that's separate.
Okay.
No, all kidding aside, so next up on the agenda for your information is that we will have a hard meeting on August 19th. So we have two new cases. One is to replace some parts of roof on property at 443 McCormick Road. And then at 316 Gettysburg Pike, applicant would like to replace, I believe it's 7 windows that are visible from metal to vinyl. So that will be before HARB for their consideration. Once HARB makes recommendations, that application and the HARB recommendations will be forwarded to this board for consideration of a certificate of appropriateness. So you will see this later, probably as early as September timeframes. Unless it gets delayed at HARB.
Okay. Anything else for, planning?
I will note that we do have a planning commission meeting scheduled at the end of this month. That would be, what is it called? 25th? Yeah, August 25th at 6:30 PM, and we will have 2 cases. One is for a Chipotle, and the other one is for the threefold skull over in Tattersall that just received its special exception permit. So those will be before planning commission this month. And that's all I have.
Can I ask a question about report school?
Okay,
So they've already received a written decision from the zoning hearing board.
they received approval for the use in that district. That is what they had to go for because the use is correct.
But I guess they don't necessarily have to wait for the decision. I thought a written decision has to be forthcoming with them.
It is forthcoming, so they did receive approval, so if we have not received the written decision yet, we will during this process. But it was approved, I believe, without conditions, so.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep,
Moving into public improvements, I don't see any agenda items, only to say that our next public, including, meeting, there will be some discussion about, the skate park at Coachman Park, as well as, the future of the expert pool and our relationship with that, will be handled through committee, and, also for everyone's information, there is a sinkhole in line slot, I guess how they're doing that, fight is in the process of, arrangements being made to replace them with their.
But just to elaborate, it's significant, all those things you talked about will come back to the board and nothing.
Yes.
Decided, and so.
Thank you, just in the first process there. Sanitary sewer, no agenda items on the report. Administration committee. I think we'll just skip it. So the first one is the acceptance of resignation of Mr. Funding. We have that letter of resignation that he handed to us, effective going from August 15th.
I'll move to accept the resignation of Tim Wendling from his position with Upper Township effective August 15th, 2025, with appreciation for his service.
Sorry. Moving to second, any discussion?
That it's been short but sweet. Thank you, Ken.
I think that's a unanimous, comment, Eric. I don't know. Be a way we can change that, I certainly would, hope, but I wish you.
Thank you.
All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, no. Eric Godspeed. And then we have discussed the need for consultation. Mr. Fraser, I think you see drafts, Steve has, he's finalized that today. I think I sent it out this afternoon, so, I would like a motion just to, prove that, consolidated agreement with what it is that it would retain the services by telephone and or special project if needed from Scott Fraser, who is our recently retired manager, just for the overlap as we, move to, fill those things. So. Second. Been moved and seconded to initiate the consultant agreement with Scott Fraser. All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, no. Carried. With Scott's departure, that left a vacancy with to the Secretary of the Board of Commissioners. Well, actually, Tim took his role, but with Tim's departure, there will be the vacancy. So my recommendation is that we take action effective August 16th to appoint the Secretary or second. The move to take a discussion. All in favor, aye? Aye. No? Carried, so that's good. And then as our plans are in place, Councilor Tim leaves effective August 16th. I'm recommending that we appoint Lou Fazekas to be our acting township manager, along with the rest of the agreements for compensation, etc. Is there action for that?
I'll move to appoint Lou Fazekas acting township manager for Upper Island Township effective August 16th, 2025. And to authorize the execution of any necessary agreements to formalize the appointment.
Sorry. With the second discussion.
That's still hard, like,
Yes.
I did have more of a legal question about the appointment of the secretary. I didn't see any.
Can we wait, so we're on the manager now, so we'll go back, we already took action on this thing. But I'll entertain your question back. On the agenda, 6C is the appointment of the secretary, we just voted on that one, unanimous passage. And now we're discussing the appointment, and have a motion on the floor to appoint you as the effective management. And that's the move and second, is there any other discussion on that? Action. All in favor, aye? Aye. Aye, opposed, no. Well, don't go on any long trips, you're gonna have to come back. Oh, now Eric Collins, you have a question.
Well, I guess the question was, but he's. Mr. Fazekas is gonna in a dual role, secretary.
Well,
That's how-
what the
yeah.
manager-
Right, and so I didn't see it in the ordinance. It's like a legal question. Yeah, it's not in the ordinance, and as you read the first class code, it talks about a salary and so forth, that would be. Passed by resolution, and I didn't think that apply.
In the case law, it's not an incompatible position, so. Individuals such as Scott Fraser, who is clearing now, Mr. Fazekas, hold those positions. But it doesn't have to carry a salary with it.
Okay, that's what I wasn't clear on when I read that. So,
Okay,
okay,
anything else from administration? Moving into park and recreation, we have no agenda items again, but
Just a reminder that the next Park and Rec meeting is going to be on August 27th at 6:30.
okay. Moving then to a miscellaneous solicitor update.
I've one item to.
Usually the opening.
Sorry. Yeah, I wanted to report that actually it's right off the press because I got it shortly before I was leaving the office, but the Liquor Control Board has approved our petition for exemption from the amplified music requirements. So that exemption extends for a further 3 years from August 21 of this year till August 21 of 2028. Again, the 3-year period is in accordance with the Liquor Control Board standard policy. The extension beyond that would be for 5 years, and it's on the same terms and conditions. And as I think everybody here is aware, the exemption allows the township to enforce its noise ordinance, which is more restrictive than the liquor provisions.
I see we have a representative from Asheville, HOA, so be sure to tell your neighbors for good news.
I attended the meeting, so I did want to thank everybody that was
Well,
involved.
Thank you. Ash collection, I don't believe we have any updates, capital topic, there is the snow plowing and the picnic in September, which I was announced previously. It may be.
No.
Okay, and I don't have anything from the state association. Is there any public comment? We will go back into a discussion, discuss items under the party point release and I will in our guests go ahead and we'll recess into executive session. Okay, thanks for coming, folks. And we'll see you later in 2 weeks.